morning, good evening, or maybe good afternoon. It's morning where I'm at. Welcome back to the 13th Destiny podcast with Magnum. I did not do this last night because my wonderful friends down here from Bridgeport, Texas, and took me over to Dallas. Went over there with them to the Medieval Times and tournament, and it was an awesome time, and we were just very worn out by the time I got back over here. Well, maybe a little worn out. But anyway, big shout out to Jeremy, Bug, Crimson, and Lakota last night. So all the kids there with us last night. So had a great time. Looking forward to being back down for their wedding. Who knows, maybe another trip down just for the heck of it. We'll see what happens between now and the time that Jay Farrell out of Nashville shoots their wedding, and we'll be assisting him next year for that. And also a very nice shout out to my friend that I met the last time I was here, from the desk clerk at the Holiday Inn in Decatur, Texas, where I'm staying. Elizabeth Wright, you are awesome, and as well. And I think we had a real good time talking last night, and I appreciate that. We don't get to do that very often, where we have a very I'll say a longer engagement is what I'll say. So that's and you certainly made my night last night, and I appreciate that. So anyway, I'm getting ready to head back to. I'm trying to figure this out if I'm going back home first and then going to Tennessee. So I'm trying to figure that out this morning. But I'm trying to get over to Tennessee, obviously, to interview with Miranda and get that show done. But it is getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving. Obviously, I knew I was going to be out for a little while. I did not think about how long I was going to be out. And I've had a really good time. But need to get back. I need to start getting some things settled back home and getting back on track. I'm not completely off track. It's just, I think I've really, really just had a really good time with this trip and everything. And anyway, I guess I'll just say, there's been some ups and downs, obviously, with the rib thing and all that. But after last night, everything that happened, and what happened this weekend here in Decatur, it was an awesome weekend. So it was really, really good. And it ended on a really high note last night, as I said, with Elizabeth here, the desk clerk that I met the first time. She's a really interesting and really nice person. So you kind of enjoy that. So, but anyway, so on to what we're going to do. So I'm going to head out to Tennessee. Obviously, some way. I don't know if I'm going back up north to home and stopping at home first, or going across the southern route. I'm going to make that final decision today. Oh, and out to my sister. Yes, I'm aware that it's cold, and I carried stuff with me. I have jackets and hoodies both. I had clothes for both warm weather and cold weather, so I was prepared for either situation. And I know it's been up and down back home, so I'm gonna get that out of the way. So my sister listens to the podcast, so sometimes she gets updates from what I'm doing from me on the podcast. So I definitely got that interview with Miranda planned, and I want to get that out of the way because I'd really like to get that show done. And so I'm going to go on my way to try to get that done before this week is out. And my plan was to be there on Thursday. No, and excuse me, it's not anything from the rib or anything like that. It's just I'm up early trying to get things ready, and I meant to do, like I said, I meant to do the podcast last night, but I think between the adrenaline and everything else, and just tired, and just finally just kicked out and went to bed after my final conversation with the desk clerk last night. But anyway, I am getting ready to start my track back, and we'll make the decision here in a little while after breakfast on whether or not I'm going to go the northern route back through Fort Smith and Poplar Bluff back to Bowling Green, or if I'm going to go the southern route. The only thing I don't like about the southern route is I haven't wanted to go through Memphis for a long time, and it's just something. It's my prerogative. It's just something that I don't really care to do anymore. if I have to, I have to. And I hope certainly it's not to say that there's a lot to that, and I don't really want to go into that. But it's just it's lost its appeal. I will say it's lost its appeal to me as far as a place I would want to go. And that's probably the most diplomatic, nice way I can say it. I lost some. I say that, and I'm sure there's some really good people there. It's just that I don't know. I've seen some things that I just don't care to deal with anymore, and if I can avoid it, I'm just going to avoid it. That's just my choice. But anyway, who knows? Maybe I'll have to go there at some point. We'll see what happens. Like I said, it was a good weekend. Things went well. Definitely check out if you're ever in any of the places that have that kind of stuff, the Medieval Times, the tournament. That was a different experience last night. I'll write about that on TripAdvisor probably too when I get a chance. My TripAdvisor is Magnum 1968. You can see some of the things I've done there too. Most of my stuff from YouTube it's all Magnum 1968. So those are usually the codes for that kind of stuff that you can find, the channels or the things that I have on that. That I had well established before the podcast. It was exciting. It was fun. Enjoyed it. And I think if you like anything about history, even though they got a kind of interesting skew on it, but it's pretty fun and it's engaging and it's just a real fun time. I noticed last night on my Facebook actually that the writer that writes around me actually had told me about one that he'd been to as well, and that it was very entertaining as well for them. So I am kind of maybe dragging a little bit, but we'll see. I hope to be back here soon and have a really good interview show with Miranda, and I'm going to get that all prepared up really, really well before I get her on the air with me, and then we'll have an awesome show with her, I'm sure, because she's done a lot of podcasts, and I know the people that know her know that she is well spoken, and we should have a really good time with that. Anyway, so I'm going to let y'all go for this morning. I just wanted to give a quick update. It's not going to be a long show, and I'm going to be getting on the road soon. So I will be back here soon, and a much more exciting show, hopefully. I know that not everybody wants to listen to just me all the time. At least I don't think so. I'm sure that the interview shows are much more engaging, or the shows with guests, or the shows with co-hosts. So, I appreciate the support, obviously, but certainly I want to have other people on with me because that is the original intention of the show. Okay, everyone have a great morning, evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at, and I'll be back soon. Thank you for listening to the 13th Destiny podcast from Magnum, and God bless all of you.